Good morning, it's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself, and today I want to talk about a big topic, so get ready. It's about all physical, mental, emotional health, so all physical and mental health. I haven't done this video before because it could be perceived by people to be dangerous. It could get taken off of YouTube, and it could be construed, it could be construed that it just could be construed in ways that it's not meant for. And so I've shied away from this topic. I've shied away from my real truth on physical and mental health, all physical and mental health. And what do I say when I say that? I mean, when we are talking about physical health, we're talking about everything from fibromyalgia to chronic fatigue syndrome, to multiple chemical sensitivity, to cancer, to pain, chronic pain, to inner ear infections, bladder infections. We're talking everything. So we're talking MS, we're talking ALS, we're talking the big ones and the small ones. We're talking Parkinson's, and we're talking ear infections. We're talking all of it, okay? All of it. So physical health. Again, when we're talking mental health, I am including all of it. So I am including the full range to full-blown psychosis, to suicidal ideation, to bipolar disorder, to depression disorder, to severe depressive disorder, to anxiety, to agoraphobia, right? The whole spectrum, multiple personality, borderline disorder, to, all of it. I'm talking all of it. I am encompassing everything, the whole umbrella, physical, mental health. Okay, first, I know this is going to sound crazy when I say your diagnosis is not real. That is going to sound crazy, and that is the reason why I haven't put this video out before. But it's true, and I feel it's time that I can finally speak out on this and say the truth and give you the information that you actually need, okay? So your diagnosis, A, is not true. It's, first of all, words. We've categorized groups of symptoms, whether they're physical or mental, right? So for mental health or physical health, we've categorized groups of symptoms into categories. And we've said, oh, this ticks. Okay, symptom A, B, C, D, E mostly fall into this. And they give it a name, and they say, yes, you have, you're depressed, you're agitated, you don't feel good, you are down all the time, you snap at people, you don't have good relationships. Well, okay, that falls into depression, right? You're unmotivated. So we go down the list, right? Somebody else might have, you feel tired all the time, right? So that could also go into depression, but you feel tired all the time. You are happy, but you're tired and you're not motivated. And okay, so all of these same symptoms are now called chronic fatigue syndrome because the person's happy, but they still have a list of symptoms. So I'm just saying we're taking groups of symptoms, A, B, C, D, E. These are just real human emotions, feelings, thoughts, feelings, and sensations. Okay, so all these are is taking your thoughts, a thought, a feeling and an emotion, and a bodily sensation, and we're grouping it into categories and then giving them names for it. So A, your diagnosis is not real. And then B, most often you are treated medically. You are treated with medication. And this is where things get gray for me as to can I talk about this on YouTube, because it is deemed dangerous to say that medical treatment is not that, especially if I'm not a medical doctor. So I want to put that disclaimer in here right up front. I am not a medical doctor, thank God. I did not go to medical school, though I have studied extensively for 8 years, day in and day out, on all things medical, from mental health to physical health. And because I had firsthand personal experience. Okay, so does that make me an expert? I think so. I think I qualify as an expert. Why? Because I survived well over 200 symptoms. It could have been closer to 300. I had one of the worst illnesses I believe a person can have, because I experienced a range of diagnoses, a range of symptoms that would fit into multiple, and did fit into multiple diagnoses, from everything from mental health diagnosis. Okay, I'm not going to name everything that I had, but I will give you, depression, yes, anxiety, yes, severe anxiety, yes, severe mental depression, yes, psychosis, yes, suicidal ideation, constantly wanting to kill myself, yes. So, oh my gosh, I can't even remember them all, but everything from OCD, yes, I experienced them all. I had them all, okay? Yeah, and yes, I was a normal person. So I was a complete normal person, and then something happened and I experienced a range of all of this. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But yes, I had every single one of them. And no, it wasn't just like a passing thing or a passing feeling. It was deep, it was severe, and it required hospitalization and medication. So it was totally severe. Do I believe I had any of that? No. We'll get into that in a minute. So on the physical side, everything I was diagnosed, I had everything from chronic pain to chronic fatigue syndrome to multiple chemicals, sensitivity to some like multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's symptoms, right? I had tons of those. Brain concussion symptoms and all kinds of brain symptoms. I had every little thing, like digestive issues. I had throat issues, eye issues, migraine headaches, ear issues, inner ear issues, dizziness, balance, like the list goes on, okay? I can't even, the list was so long, I can't even, right? Did I almost die? Yes. Could I breathe? My heart, my lungs, okay, every part of my body. And I don't generally like to talk about it because it's traumatic, and it's also fear-based, and it's not real. So I've come to realize over the time, did I have any of that? No, I did not. I did not have any of those medical, physical, or mental conditions. I actually literally felt all the symptoms of them, but they're not a real thing, and they're not for life. I'm proof. I am proof. I was normal. I had all of it, and now I'm normal. Okay. So yes, are there still lingering symptoms in some cases? Yes, but they're going away and they're almost completely gone. So, okay. This is a difficult video, so maybe I'll just break it down. The reason why I say that they are not real, and they're just words and they're not real, is because I believe that all illness, whether it's physical or mental, and remember, this is personal experience, also tons of research, but mostly personal experience in having to live through it and find my way out of this matrix that was my life, that it is not real. Because I know it's not real is because, sorry, I thought I heard my kids, and I never like to talk about this in front of my kids because, they don't know the full extent of what I went through, and I wish them not to. Why would I want them to know the reality of something that was so dark? So I'm outside. I feel better about being able to just talk about, without being interrupted. Okay, so let me see if I can set my camera up and we will talk. Oh, maybe I can't. I'll just hold it. Sorry if it's a little bouncy. I'll try to steady it. Okay, so why do I say these things are not real? Because, firstly, I don't believe that. So these things are very real. So let's be honest. All the symptoms are very real. The effects on your body and your mind and your emotions and your heart and your physical body are very real. Okay, they're very real. But what I mean is a medical profession telling you that you're sick or this is the way it is, and this is the box you fit into, and this is your diagnosis, and it can't change, and you need to be medicated, and you'll live with it for the rest of the life. That is BS. Okay, so I don't like to swear, but this is where I would use a big swear word. That is wrong. Okay, so that is wrong. How do I know? I'm living proof. Because A, we don't fall into boxes. Our symptoms are part of a larger everything, and a lot of them cross over. If you notice, sometimes they can't even diagnose you properly because you could fall into this, or it could be that, or it could be this. This is a lot of guesswork. And if they cannot figure out exactly where you fall into, they sure as heck can't medicate you properly. So, okay, this is the part that scares me to say on YouTube. I've said it before, but I'm going to say it explicitly here. I believe everyone should get as far away from pharmaceutical medicine as possible. Especially, I guess psychoactive drugs. Anything that is used for a mental health condition that changes the chemistry and state of the brain is particularly life-threatening and damaging, okay? So I'm just gonna say that up front, that A, you do not need those drugs, and B, those drugs will make you worse. How do I know? Living proof. So take that for what it's worth, but this is my truth. This is my truth that I'm speaking, and I believe it to be 100% accurate. I really do. I've suffered for a long time. I've been through a lot of things, and I believe that's accurate. I believe that, okay, so first, let's go back. What is it then? If we don't have, multiple chemical sensitivity or borderline personality disorder, or we don't have these, anxiety or depression or MS or whatever it is, if we don't have that, then what do we have? What is it? I believe, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but I believe that it is all trauma. So the one diagnosis I think that is close to being accurate is post-traumatic stress disorder. And we see that when war veterans come back and from war, and they carry with them post-traumatic stress from that particular war. And so anything that smells or sounds or looks or reminds them of an incident that happened during the war will be a trigger for them and will set them off into severe depression or fear or anxiety or whatever it is, into like a mental health cascade. So I do believe that the post-traumatic stress disorder is the closest thing that we have for all diseases, really. Usually trauma is more complex than that, okay? So I believe that all illness is complex trauma. Complex, and it's not post-traumatic. Post means it's like over, it's behind you, it's over. And what I believe, all mental health and physical health, stay with me because I will explain this. This is very high level right now, is ongoing. So it's not post, it's ongoing stress reactions, ongoing stress response. That is what I think it is. So it's close when we say post-traumatic stress disorder, but it's not post, it's ongoing stress, and it's not a disorder. You don't have a disorder. You have a malfunctioning response. So ongoing stress malfunctioning response with your CSN, okay? CNS, central nervous system. So I believe basically that every illness, whether it's physical or mental, and I will break it down, I will show exactly how I think this, is basically ongoing distress, and your central nervous system is dysregulated and cannot deal with the amount of stress that is being put on its system. And therefore, the dysregulation is causing symptoms. Some are of mental, some are of physical, and some are of emotional. And some are of varying degrees. Some are small and some are huge and massive. And it depends on the amount of stress and for how long it's been going on. And then we see the varying degrees and the basically whether it's physical, mental, or how it's played out. But basically, I believe it is ongoing stress, malfunctioning, a malfunctioning stress response to ongoing stress. Okay, so that's what I believe all illness is, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that and why you don't need to be medicated for that, and why all the diagnoses are BS, and why you can heal yourself, and why you can get well, and how you don't need and you should run from pharmaceutical medication. Okay, so this is my truth. Again, I'm not a doctor. I am somebody who definitely is a health coach. I give health advice. I am not interested in hurting anybody. I'm not interested in giving people the wrong advice. I'm interested in spreading the truth. I know what the truth is and was for me. And I really wish to help people. I wish to help you become your own healer and take back your life and live your best life, because I know that you can. I absolutely 100% know that you can. And I need you to believe that too, because it's the truth, no matter what you have. And you might say, yeah, but I think about depression or suicide every day, or yeah, but I'm in a wheelchair with MS. Same answer. You can live your life. That's just a collection of symptoms brought on by ongoing traumatic stress with a malfunctioning nervous system response to that. So I want to be very clear here. I am not I'm talking only about chronic illnesses, chronic physical illnesses and chronic mental illnesses. If you fall and break your leg, if you suddenly have a heart attack, if all these things happen, and if something happens and the pain lasts or the suffering lasts or the symptoms last as long as it takes for that thing to heal, a day to 6 weeks, depending on what it is, a broken bone to 8 weeks, whatever. I'm not talking about that. Okay, that's just a normal part of life. That is normal, and people get hurt, things happen, symptoms pop up, viruses come and go. I'm talking about a chronic condition like fibromyalgia or multiple sclerosis or chronic pain. I'm talking about chronic fatigue syndrome. I'm talking about ALS. I am talking about something that is degenerative and chronic. Depression, anxiety, right? Suicidal ideation. I'm talking about bipolar. I am talking about chronic conditions here. If you have been traumatized, if this is you, if you are dealing with trauma, and all chronic conditions, whether they're mental, emotional, or physical, are trauma-based. It's trauma. It's the stress response broken down, a maladaptive stress response due to trauma in your life, okay? And I know you're thinking, wait, but I'll get to it. But trauma can break you mentally, spiritually, physically. It can destroy your life. It can destroy your physical body, your mental capacity, your emotional capacity, and it's not permanent. You can fix it. Is it easy? No. Is it going to take a lot of effort and work? Yes. Yes, it is. Trauma is not easily healed overnight. But you have this. This is the answer. This is what you're looking for. I know, because I looked high and low. And this is what it is. It is trauma that is causing you ongoing traumatic stress in your body, and your adaptive central nervous system response, your fight, flight, or freeze response is dysregulated, and it is breaking down your body mentally, physically, and emotionally. Period. That's it. That's what all disease is. Okay, I want to stop right here and say, if you have not watched my story yet, if you do not know my story is posted on here. It's very long. It's in a bunch of parts. I'll put a playlist. You can go listen to my story if you want. So I will put a link there. And for those of you who are on medication right now, please hear me. I am not telling you to stop your medication cold turkey. This is not about stopping your medication if you're on it. If you're already on it, there's a whole process you need to go through to undo it. I am talking to you if you are not on medication. And I am urging you, I am pleading with you, and I am trying to, this is a free video, so you don't have to listen to my advice. I'm not a doctor, but I am telling you with honesty and clarity, medication will only complicate things and make it worse. It will make you worse. The medication is meant to act on your brain chemistry. It dysregulates your autonomic nervous system more in the long run. You think it is regulating it, but it is actually dysregulating it, overriding your natural human and biological impulses to feel fight, flight, or freeze. And when this happens, and when we take it away, or we mess with the medication, or we up or take away the dose, chaos breaks out. So if you haven't seen my video on the dangers of pharmaceuticals, again, that was an old video. I will post it in the link below. Please watch it. Please watch this video. So yes, I am not, this is a warning. This is a definite warning. I am not telling you to go off. Bad things will happen if you go off immediately after watching this video. So if that is something you want to do, watch the videos on the danger of pharmaceuticals and get a plan together to taper slowly over time, right? We're trying to minimize the effect of the dysregulation of our nervous system as we come off these things. This is of paramount importance. Okay, look. This video is for people who are tired, who are worn out, who are exhausted from trying everything, okay? They have tried everything. And actually, I'm gonna make a program for you guys because I know what it's like to be tired and worn out. But this video is for people who are tired, they're exhausted from their symptoms, they're exhausted from their own mind, their own body, from trying so hard, from failing, from having to garner hope only to be crushed down to hopelessness. This video is for people who are tired of being told what they have and that they can't heal, and that and feeling like they cannot heal themselves, they cannot get their power. This video is for people who have been failed by the mental health professionals, by the doctors, the MDs, the physical health professionals, by people who have been failed by family and friends and abandoned and left and not believed and really alone and suffering, but ready. This video is for those of you who are ready. It's windy out here, so I'm going to be taking this video back inside in a minute, but I just want to say this video is for those of you who are ready to be your own healer. Okay, I'm going to make a program for those of you who are ready to be your own healers. So stay tuned for that. I really need you to know nobody is coming to save you. Nobody. Not the doctors, not the mental health professionals, not the MDs, not your family, not your friends, not your experts on YouTube, not your naturopath, not your functional medicine doctor, not your allopath, not your herbalist, not your body work person, not me. I am not your friend. I am not coming to save you. I won't be at your house. Nobody is coming, okay? I learned this the hard way. Do people have good intentions? Do people want to help? Yes. But if you really want to heal, you are going to have to take the shovel out and do the hard work yourself. You're going to have to commit and stand on your own 2 feet with will, determination, but mostly intent. You are going to have the intent to heal yourself and the commitment daily to back that intent up. That like you are ready to take your life back. You know that no one's coming. You've been down the road. If you haven't been down the road, you still don't know. You still don't know that no one's coming to save you. Okay? And that's okay. You want to hold on to the hope that there's an answer, there's a magic potion, there's a magic pill, there's a magic supplement, there's a magic guru, there's a magic method. You want to hold on to that. You want to hold on to the fact that there's a doctor you haven't seen, there's a specialist, there's a course, there's a surgeon, there's somebody out there who knows, who can swoop in with their magic wand and save you. And if you're not here yet, if you're not there yet, if you don't realize yet that no one's coming to save you, then you haven't been far enough down the road, unfortunately. And maybe this video isn't for you. And I don't say that to be mean. I say this to give you all the free wisdom that I have. This is free. This is my wisdom. This is my truth. No one's coming. Nobody is coming. So ask yourself, how committed are you to healing? And do you have a deep intent to heal yourself? If you do, you must activate it within. Okay, so you are looking at somebody, this is the truth, who couldn't talk, who couldn't see, who couldn't read, who couldn't think, who couldn't write, who was completely non-functional, who cried, who was terrorized in her own body and skin. You're looking at somebody who literally went from not being able to function, walk, talk, see, even get to the bathroom, right? You are looking at somebody who was hysterical and who was living in terror, fear, with every physical and mental symptom that you can think of. And I'm fine. I mean, sure, I have some lingering symptoms. I do, because my body and my central nervous system broke at its core, and it takes time to repair. However, I'm functioning, I'm living my life, I am a human being again, and I was, before all this, a functioning, well-adjusted, happy human being. Sorry about that, just a big dog charging towards my little one here. Anyways, listen, I was somebody who grew up, I had an amazing childhood. I had an amazing parents. I had dreams, aspirations. I had lots of friends. I was well-adjusted, had a great job. You know, I had a good marriage. I was happy. Sure, I had problems like the rest of you. I had things that I had to deal with, but I was highly functioning. I was happy and I enjoyed my life. What more could you ask for? I was healthy. Okay? I had something happen to me. We'll get into that. You can watch my story in the link below. However, I went into the darkness. Okay? Dark, chaos. My nervous system broke down. My central nervous system completely broke, snap. It destroyed everything physically and mentally and emotionally in my body. I had to find my way back. Okay? I had to climb my way out day at a time, minute by minute, second by second. And here I am. And I am living proof. I am here to tell you. I'm going to get a diagram and show you this, but I just want to quickly say, this is why I believe that all disease, whether it's physical or mental, I had I went through it. So I speak with wisdom here. I speak with knowledge. I speak with something that doctors and psychiatrists cannot speak to. Okay? Even functional medicine doctors or healers cannot speak to unless you've been in the thick of it, unless you understand. All disease, all illness, all mental illness and physical illness comes from a dysregulated nervous system. Your fight, flight, or freeze response is kicked off. It's broken and you are in pain. You are trying to escape pain, various levels of pain, physical, emotional, mental. It's too much for you to handle, and everything is about pain. It's all about pain. It's all about trying to get away from pain and protect yourself to safety. I am going to show you how. Okay, so I'm back. I'm holed up in a bedroom because everyone's home with lockdown, coronavirus. Anyways, this is the only spot that I can get to. So I want to start by saying your central nervous system is the key. It is the key to healing all your diseases. It's the key to healing everything, all your suffering. This is it. This is it right here. Okay? So you've got your fight, you've got your flight, and you've got your freeze. Okay? And the purpose. Okay, so these are the reactions. You have other things too. So for those of you who don't know, your central nervous system basically acts as a regulator for your entire body, for your emotions, for your physical body, for your hormones, for the chemicals in your brain, right? For your body. So your physical body, your mental body, your mind, your emotions, your central nervous system regulates everything, okay? So no matter what you have, if it's a chronic condition, you have a central nervous system problem, okay? And I'm trying to attempt to show you this here. Your central nervous system has basically one objective, really, is to keep you safe, okay? Okay? It's to keep you away from pain. Pain is down here at the very bottom, safety, and then pleasure up here. So you want to go from pain to pleasure, pain to pleasure. You go through safety. Your nervous system would rather keep you safe than keep it pleasurable, but if it can keep you safe and pleasurable, that's what it will do. So it wants to get away from pain and it wants to go towards pleasure, but if pleasure is somehow dangerous, if the circumstances surrounding pleasure are dangerous, then it would rather keep you safe than experience this, okay? So this is an attempt to break down all conditions, all chronic conditions. So as you can see that your body, when you are having a response to pain, everything's a response to pain, okay? Symptoms right here come out of the central nervous system. Symptoms come out everywhere. So there are all kinds of symptoms. They could be mental, right? They could be emotional. They could be physical. So we got mental, emotional, physical symptoms, okay? And your body is in a response. And every time it senses danger, we're going to put pain and we're going to put danger over here. Safety and pleasure go together. Every time it senses danger or thinks that that danger might lead back into pain, right? Danger's our warning. The nervous system will react, okay? So the central nervous system reacts. That's what it does. It's meant to react so that it can regulate, okay? And if it feels that it's in danger, it will either fight to get out of danger, it will flee, it will flight to get out of danger, so you'll run, or it will freeze. It will totally clam up. It will not know what to do. This is a last resort. Usually flight, running away is the first. So if you disengage, if you run away, if you are anxious, if you feel like so anxiety is really a condition of running away. If you're fighting, you're angry, you have anger management, you've got aggression issues, you're fighting, impulse control, these kinds of things here, okay? And if you're freezing, you're basically in shutdown. You're in shutdown, you're in freeze. A lot of times that can manifest in all kinds of ways, right? Like you don't talk. Some people literally can't talk. Like I couldn't talk. I was frozen to the point where I couldn't speak. It can manifest as physical ways where you pass out, or you have seizures. It can be all of these. Coma, it's a deep freeze state. So we're talking about all the different physical, emotional, and mental reactions that your body does if it cannot fight, flight, or freeze. Some people will even say fawn. Fawn is basically representative of bargaining, begging, pleading, trying to get away, like make a deal. So in this situation, no matter what situation you're in, you will try to do all of this stuff. And when you're in repeated pain, such as a chronic illness, a chronic mental condition, a chronic physical condition, chronic pain itself is one of the worst on the scales. Your body, or anything really, whether it's emotional, whether you're being held a prisoner of war, whether you have childhood abusers, no matter what your problem is, you're trying to fight your way out of it. You are trying to flee your way out of it. You will try to bargain your way out of it and beg and plead. And lastly, you will freeze as a biological response. You're not doing this. You don't know you're doing this. This is biological. It's innate. It's born in you, and it's meant to keep you safe. This is really what we're concerned about, getting from danger to safety. But the real thing is getting from pain to pleasure, okay? So when this doesn't work, when this malfunctions, or when it's not possible to achieve safety, right? You will go, if you're predominantly prone to fighting, you will eventually try running. If you're predominantly opposed to running, you will eventually try fighting. You will go through all of them, and you may even circle back. You may keep trying. This is why it feels like a puzzle. This is why chronic illness feels like a puzzle that you cannot solve, because you're basically going from fighting to running to freezing to bargaining to pleading to trying to solve it. You're trying to solve it. You're trying to get out of danger, right? And the danger keeps coming. You can't get out. You can't escape it. It's a cycle. It's a circle. There's no way. And when that happens, this system crashes in on itself and malfunctions. It breaks. It breaks. It breaks down. Because it becomes desperate. It becomes hopeless. It becomes very desperate, and then it becomes hopeless, and it keeps doing these cycles as it continues to try. It makes you crazy, gives you all kinds of, and what happens is when it finally malfunctions and breaks down, because you can't have this much stress hormones going on, this is stress, this is all stress, is when you try to get away from danger and you can't, stress goes up. Your stress increases. When your stress increases, because you cannot get to safety, you cannot get out of this system, and the stress is overloaded and you're not finding relief, it breaks down. And when it breaks down, you basically have a malfunctioning central nervous system. Okay? And when you have a malfunctioning central nervous system that is now sending signals to your brain, your physical body, your mental body, your mind, your emotions, that aren't making sense because you're in frantic mode. This is broken. It no longer is responding. You're feeling an increase of severe stress, chronic stress. That's when it turns to trauma. You can't escape. Your normal routes of escape don't work. The stress increases and it goes to trauma, okay? So trauma, and then from trauma, we get to pain. I've made a mess of this, so I don't even know where I'm going with it anymore. But what I want to say is, once this is broken down and once you're now in trauma, the danger's passed and now you're in pain. You're in trauma/pain. That is the one thing that your body is trying to get you away from, and now it's literally experiencing it. It will mentally break down, physically break down, emotionally break down. What does that look like? It looks like symptoms. Okay? Symptoms. It looks like anxiety is a symptom. It's not a condition. It's not a disorder. It's not a disease. It's a symptom. It's a symptom of this breaking down. You are now fully on anxious, scared of everything. You're running around. You don't know what to do. Depression. You're now is not. It's a symptom. Depression is a symptom. It's a symptom of a broken central nervous system because the anxiety didn't work. You can't get out of the situation. Nothing will get you out of it. You're in severe pain, and now you're depressed. Now you're feeling sadness. You're feeling like you want to kill yourself, feeling like you can't escape. You want to escape. There's all these symptoms that are going with severe black hole depression because you're in pain. You're in severe pain. You're at the lowest level, and this is not working. So when your central nervous system is broken, it's sending out symptoms, physical, emotional, mental symptoms. Maybe your body's sending you out physical symptoms. You actually have pain all over your body, or it's vibrating, or it's shaking, right? MS, or it's buzzing, or you can't walk, or you can't speak, or your ears are killing you, or your eyes, you're getting migraine headaches. Okay, all of this, again, symptoms. It's symptoms of your physical body breaking down due to the wrong messages being sent from your central nervous system, which is now broken because you cannot get out of fight, flight, freeze, fawn, escape. Your stress is increasing. It's trauma. This is what trauma is. You can't, it's a traumatic event because you can't escape from it. It's like you're in a prison, okay? And now you're experiencing severe pain. And that's what you're trying to get away from, but you literally cannot get away from it. Okay, so now we're gonna get Freudian and we're gonna get Jungian. So for those of you who study Carl Jung, let's go there. Okay, so we have, for those of you who study this, we have the unconscious, okay, and the conscious. Okay, so we've got the unconscious and the conscious. This is, the conscious is the light. The unconscious is the dark. The conscious is the, it's chaos, it's dark, it's confusion, it's pain, it's suffering, it's, unconscious is the darkness, okay? Conscious is the light. It's the joy, it's the love, it's the order. Okay, so for those of you who understand conscious and unconscious, this is just going to be a quick little review and it's going to tie in. So trust me, stay with me here. I know this is a long video view. For those who are with me, for those of you who want to take back your health, stay with me a little bit longer, okay? This is all going to make sense and come together. So, when your central nervous system breaks down, as we discussed before, you're in trauma. Your body literally cannot handle what it's going through. It pushes everything into the unconscious, into the darkness, as a last resort to keep you safe, okay? Trauma goes into the darkness, into the unconscious. It's a deep freeze state is what it really is. It's a freeze of your emotional body. So when you're going into this unconscious, your unconscious is now going to freeze, not your physical body. It might be freezing your physical body too. You might pass out, you might have seizures, you might go mute, you might not be able to talk, you might go to these, or maybe you're just escaping into the next room, you know, depending on the level of severity here. Or isolating or whatever. But in deep trauma, deep chronic illness, life-threatening situations here, our body has no choice but to freeze our emotions, okay? Our emotions and our mental capacities as well into the unconscious. Now, when we can't feel our emotions because they're buried, the body is doing that as it does with the physical and the mental, whatever, it's doing it to keep you safe. Remember what the body wants to do here. It wants to keep you out of pain. It wants to keep you safe, right? Your central nervous system is broken. Things are firing. It's going to shove as much as it can into the unconscious where it doesn't have to be dealt with now, because it senses that you can't. You don't have the emotional capacity anymore to handle those feelings, to work through them, to transform them, to understand them, or to come any way close to being able to deal with them. So it pushes them down, it pushes them away into the darkness. Your conscious is anything that's available to you, the emotions that are there. And anything that's in the light, anything that's into your awareness is conscious. And that's where we want to live, from the conscious, right? But a lot of us who have experienced trauma or chronic illness have a lot going on in the unconscious world, and it creates patterns. Okay, so this is where all this lives, basically. Sorry, I was going to switch sides because my arm's hurting, but okay. This is where all this lives. So, patterns, subconscious patterns, all the dark feelings, anything going wrong with your life, situations, personality traits, like all of this identity is from the past. It's all in the past, okay? The conscious, the light, everything that you're aware of now is in the present. And we can consciously think of the past, but we bury our darkest things in the past. So our past is hurting our life through patterns, the way we're living, through our diseases, our physical, emotional, and mental symptoms, right? And really, the only way to escape that is to turn the light on, is to make the darkness light, to make the unconscious conscious. But your body has put it there for a reason. Remember, the body has put it there for its own reason, and the reason is safety. It wants to keep you safe. It doesn't think you can handle it. And this is like its own mechanism to keep you safe. It will only give you what you can handle. Okay? Right now, if you're dealing with intense physical symptoms of an illness and pain that won't go away, a breakdown of your actual central nervous system, when your body gets involved, when your body, your emotions, and your mental capacities, when everything gets involved at once, it's so much pain, your nervous system can't handle it, and it knows that. Now, this is where the whole doctors come in and the whole medication. When you go to an authority figure, they call these conditions, these are diseases, these are conditions, right? Whatever you go in with will fit in a box, a collection of symptoms, and they say, oh, you have this, you have that, you have this. It's a neat package way for them to organize a whole bunch of symptoms. They don't realize that symptoms are a broken central nervous system, and they're actually just a reaction, a malfunctioning reaction of your central nervous system. So symptoms don't mean, a collection of symptoms don't mean you have a disease or a disorder or an illness. They mean that is to the level and where your central nervous system is broken, and it's the reactions that your body is giving you because you can't solve it with natural on your own. Okay, this is where a doctor will say you have X disease, whether it's mental or physical or emotional, and you need X drug. Okay, if that drug acts on the central nervous system, and all mental and emotional drugs that are given out are psychoactive, and they do act on the central nervous system. They regulate hormones and receptors that affect the central nervous system. If you're given this drug, it may tamper down some of these responses, but the problem is still there. The central nervous system is still there. The stress is taken off slightly because you're tranquilized. Whatever drug you're taking, it's toning that down. So the symptoms seem to disappear slightly, which you would think is a good thing. However, it's not, because it's forcing, it's overriding your natural God-given way that the biology, your years and hundreds of thousands of millions of years of biology says that you get out of danger. You're overriding that with something that acts on this, but it doesn't repair this, okay? So it's not repairing this so that this can function again. It's overriding this and breaking this further. Because if you go to get off of those drugs, you change the dose, you do anything, okay, you're having other symptoms, and now you are more broken. Now you're adding chemicals to the mix. Now you're adding something that is acting in a non-human way to your central nervous system that complicates it and can make everything work. And now you don't have a chance anymore because you've overridden this. So in a situation where chemicals are involved, drugs, whether they're recreational or given to you by your doctor, alcohol, whatever it is, and you're chemically altering your system, you now have messed basically with millions of years of evolution. You've said, we don't need you, or we know what's better than this. And nobody knows what's better than this. Okay? So then the trauma is deeper. Because not only is this not working, but it's never going to work. You ultimately, your stress will go up, your trauma goes up, and your pain eventually goes up and higher. And you've sunken down. Okay, so let's get back to Freud for a second. Okay, so when we're talking about young, or when we're talking about conscious and unconscious, and putting all the darkness in here, all the chaos, right? The broken stuff, the stuff that we can't deal with in the unconscious as a way to protect your central nervous system, your last ditch biology resort. We'll put everything here, trauma here, store it here, as a way to keep you safe, as a way to get you out. But when you've altered yourself with drugs, or when the trauma is so severe, in the case of torturing, molestation, prisoners of war, prison camp survivors, all of that, all of this, then, or something, gang rapes, anything that's been very, very traumatic that you bury, and so traumatizing, the continuing, I believe, like I said before, that we basically, it's all a form of PTSD, but it's not post. Okay, it's not post-traumatic stress disorder. It's not the post, because it's still happening. So it's an ongoing stress. It's an ongoing traumatic stress reaction, or dysregulated reaction, or completely broken reaction. So an ongoing trauma, stress, dysregulation reaction is what I think everybody has. And when this happens, when it's ongoing stress, not post-stress, because when it's post-stress, you can get to the heart of it. You can work with what's in the unconscious, bring it to the light. And although that is also work, when something's ongoing, as it is with people who are continuing to be molested, or continuing to be raped, continuing to experience severe pain, continuing to be tortured, okay? We have an ongoing trauma. And your stress response, your central nervous system, is completely broken. So you have an ongoing trauma, stress response that's sending out tons of symptoms because your central nervous system is just dysregulated. And I believe what happens with ongoing traumas is that who we are as a person, if this is you, right here, totally dysregulated, totally in the middle of ongoing trauma, with no way out because your fight, flight, freeze, fawn response does not work, and you can't escape, you split. You split in half, okay? I know this sounds kind of weird. You split in half. Half of everything goes into the unconscious, and right? Goes down here, and here's your conscious. You're aware of this. You're not aware of this. And you have to basically fight yourself now. The enemy becomes you. The danger over here that we said, the pain, is actually being given to you by you. So when you don't have an external perpetrator constantly torturing you, but your pain, your emotional symptoms, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental pain, okay, Don't forget, pain is our worst one. When pain is so intense that you can't get away from it, you split. And you split, and now you feel there's a part of you that is the pain, that is causing the pain, and a part of you that's trying to reach safety. And the reason the cycle never ends, the reason you cannot find the ultimate answer to this Rubik's Cube, is because you are the perpetrator and you are the victim. You are the one that is causing the pain and the danger at this point. Your own central nervous system is doing this, and you are the one trying to find the answer and trying to regulate it. This is a dysregulated human being, a broken, a crumpled human being who has been split in half by trauma, by a dysregulated, ongoing trauma that has destroyed and attacked the central nervous system, and the central nervous system is no longer responding. You have no way to get out, to fight, flight, or freeze, or beg, or plead, or bargain, and that is why you can't find the answer. The answer is you. You are the answer. You are the only answer. You are the only link. This is now you. The danger and the pain is you. The safety is you. The reason I tell you that nobody is coming to save you, nobody can do this work. Medication will make your system more dysregulated, more pain. Okay, you're getting further away. What I'm saying here, no, I know that it can seem so overwhelming to your system that you think there must be an answer and that somebody must be coming to save you. Nobody is coming. Okay, you're the only person who can do this. The only people who are coming are the people who are coming to institutionalize you in some way. Jail, a mental hospital, a physical old age home. Let's be honest. Places that you go to die, to be restrained against yourself, to be watched that you don't hurt yourself, and to be fully taken care of because you're non-functional. That is not who you want coming to save you, because they're not actually saving you. They're keeping you alive to experience this for as long as they can. Not on purpose. I don't think these are bad people. They don't know this. So that's why I say no one's coming. And if somebody ultimately is coming, it's the wrong person in the wrong situation. Okay, trust me. I've been there. Okay, so you need to be able to understand this, understand what illness is, understand what mental illness is, understand what physical illness is, and understand that it's not a disease, it's not anything bad. It is your symptoms are your voice. Your symptoms are the messengers saying, I'm broken, I'm broken, I'm broken, I'm broken. And it's sending out emotional broken messages, physical broken messages, mental broken messages. It can't solve it on its own. It cannot escape the trauma. The stress goes up, the CNS breaks, you're in constant pain. You're as far away from where you want to be as you can get. Okay, so now that I've said that, how do we solve this? So for those of you who don't know, I have put together a program. And this program is to help you basically through everything, for physical things, for emotional things, for mental things, for spiritual things. So we go through everything. We go through how to heal yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and you're going to learn how to support your area and your body, how to support your mind, how to support your emotions. And basically it all ties together on how we can support our central nervous system, how we can heal our trauma, right? How we can support our bodies to heal our trauma, how we can support our emotions and our mind, right? To heal our body. So we're using our mind to heal our body. So you are the healer in this program. This program is about you taking back your life. It's about you being the healer, because I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there to save you, and nobody is. So this course is priced fairly. Look at the description in the link below and watch the video. It goes through, it actually teaches you a bunch of things in the video, but take a look at the video. It's the links below. It tells you how much it is. It tells you what's going to be in it. And it is going to be a comprehensive program for health, healing, everything, so that you can take your life back and you can be your own healer, and you can finally live the life that you want, right? So, okay, so for those of you who have stuck with me for this long, I want to thank you, because I know that you're committed. And I want to be honest with you. Yeah, I want to make some money off of this program, but that's not the reason. That is not what drives me. That is not what brings this, to you. I don't even think I'll have enough people, to buy the program that would really put a drop in the bucket financially. I want to give this to you. I want you to have this because I want to help you, because I've been there, I've lived it, and I understand what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a central nervous system that is broken, that's reacting, that's malfunctioning, that's sending out all kinds of signals mentally, emotionally, and physically. And all it's trying to do is get out of pain and danger to safety. Okay? There is a way that we can do this. It's step-by-step process. You can do this. You can do it on your own. You don't need me. I have posted everything on my channel that you will need, that you can find on your own. You can piece it together. But this program is going to be comprehensive. It's going to go through it. It's going to give it to you. Now, whether you do this program or whether you don't, that's fine. Whether you do my program, whether you do someone else's program, no matter what you choose to do, that's good. But I want to give you one more tip. This is my most important tip, okay? So if you've stuck around to the end, good for you, because you're getting a great bonus. Whoop. And the bonus is this. Do the work. Really? Did I really need to write that down? You need to commit. And you need to commit. I'm just doing this, and you need to do it. Okay, so why is this so important? Why is this so important? Do it, do it, do it, do it. I can tell you everything. Anybody could tell you everything. They could give you exercises. They could give you things to do. They could list them in order. They could hand them to you. If you don't do it, if you don't do the work, if you don't commit to doing it, it's not going to work. Nobody's program is going to work. You're not going to heal. And I don't say that to be mean. Whatever you're committing to, whatever you know you should be doing, whatever you intend, if you intend to heal, if you put your intention every day, I want to be healed, I want to be healthy, I want to be regulated, I want my emotions, my health, my physical, mental, emotional body to be strong and healthy, and I want to be fulfilled and live an amazing life. And you put your intention there. Then you must take actions to do that, to create that, right? You have to change and reorder everything so that your central nervous system can mend, so that you can get to safety, so that you can get your God-given biological right to fight, flee. This system works again. Your natural system, fight or flight system, works. It works. You can get from danger to safety. You can get from pain to pleasure. You can get there because now it's working, it's functioning. You have to allow it to function again. So no matter whose program you do, if you don't do the work, this is the key. This is the absolute key. If somebody tells you to journal 10 minutes a day and you don't do it, you might just say, yeah, I've read about journaling. I've thought about journaling. I've kind of journaled. I've done it on and off a couple of times, but you don't do it. If someone says you got to go to bed at 9 o'clock every night, or you got to go to bed, if you're not willing to actually do it, and all you continue to do is look for more answers, search for more answers, listen to something, look something up, research something, but you're not doing it, you're not implementing it, you can't heal. A lot of people fall down here. They're like, I've tried everything. You've listened to everything, you've researched everything, you've thought about everything, you've dabbled in everything, but have you done it? Do you do it? Have you done the work consistently? Consistently, that is the key. So I hope you take this program, but if you don't, and no matter what you do, my tip and my advice to you is to set your intention on what you want and take the steps that you know that are going to get you there every time, every day, with consistency, because we're re-regulating trauma, we're fixing trauma, we're healing trauma so that our central nervous system can work again. And when it's an ongoing trauma, a whole bunch of traumas pieced together, we have a lot of work to do, and it takes order, it takes a program, like it takes a schedule, it takes thoughtfulness, it takes breaking the pattern by doing a new pattern over and over and over again until you climb to safety, until you can get to safety, until you've re-regulated all the past, you've let go of the past memories of everything that's haunting you, right? The past trauma, and you're now living, your central nervous system is not broken forever, right? It's only broken until it can get to safety. It's only sending out all these messages and cries for help because it can't get there. You are going to assist it to get there by having a clear intention, by committing and recommitting every day, and by doing the work. You only get there by doing the work. So I truly hope this video has been helpful, and I will see you in the next one.